friends, I am Professor Shinde. Welcome you all for the third lecture of engineering mechanics. Okay, first going towards the third lecture, let us revise what we have learned in first two lectures. In first lecture we have learned some basic things required, or the basic geometry and mathematics is required for to learn the engineering mechanics. In that we have learned the angle geometry and the triangle geometry. And we have solved some numericals in order to recall that basic things. In second lecture, we have learned the definition of mechanics. What are the branches of mechanics? There are the two branches of mechanics. One is the engineering mechanics and another one is the fluid mechanics. In mechanics, again it is divided into two parts. One is the solid mechanics and another one is the mechanics of the deformable body, that is the solid mechanics, and another one is we can call as the mechanics of the rigid body. In mechanics of the deformable body is again divided into three parts, that is solid mechanics, plastic analysis and the elastic analysis. Okay, again we have learned in last lecture the definition of rigid body, particles and the basic principles. In basic principles we have learned the principle law of parallel run of force, principle of transmissibility, Newton's three law of motion and Newton's law of gravitation. So these are the basic things we have learned in first two lectures. Now today we are moving towards our third lectures. In that we are going to learn the force and the characteristics of force. So what is the force? Very simple. Newton's first law defines the force, that is also called as the law of inertia. What is force? Force is the agency which tries to change the state of rest, whether it is in rest condition or whether the body is in uniform motion. If the body is in uniform motion, in order to change its uniform motion, we require some external agency, that is nothing but the force. If body is in stationary condition like this duster, it is in stationary condition. If you want to do this, we require some external agency, that is nothing but the force. Now, as per the Newton's second law, how we define the force? A unit force is a force. Unit force means 1 Newton force. It is required to produce unit acceleration 1 meter per second square in a body of unit mass 1 kg. So what are the characteristics of force that we have to learn today? So there are the four characteristics of force. First one is the magnitude, second one is the point of application, third one is the line of action, and fourth one is the sense or nature. So magnitude. If you observe this figure, in that figure you have found out that P is the magnitude of this force. This force is having the magnitude P. So the magnitude is nothing but the quantity of the force. Then point of application, second. The characteristics of the force is the point of application. So what is the point of application? Let's say this is my body. On this body, the force is acting at a point A. So the point of application for this force is A. A is the point of application for this force. Then line of action. Let's say that this point is, let's say this O point. The line of action of this force is AO, is the line of action of the force. What is line of action? The direction along which the force is acting is nothing but the line of action of the force. Then next, sense or nature of the force. So if you observe that there are the two types of force. One is the push type of force, another one is the pull type of the force. So from this figure one you understand this force P is coming towards the point. The force is coming towards the point, therefore it is the push type of force. Instead of this, if this force going away from the point A like this, it is going away from the point A, then this force is known as the pull type of force. Okay, so understood? Now let's come towards the next topic. So what is the next topic? Next topic is the system of forces. This is very important. Many times in your examination it is asked that define the force and what are the characteristics of force. This was the question is done. Also, write down the system of forces. Also, such type of questions will be there. So, what are the system of forces? There are the 6 system of forces. So first one is the coplanar force system. What is coplanar? So name itself indicate that coplanar means within the same plane. If the forces are acting within the same plane, then it is called as a coplanar force system. Now if you observe that this is the xy plane, okay, this is known as this is called as the xy plane, or we can call it as the z plane also. So in that there are the 4 forces P1, P2, P3, P4, which are lies in the same plane. Therefore, it is known as the coplanar force system. Now come towards the second system of forces. What is the second system of forces? Non-coplanar force system. So in non-coplanar force system, if you observe that there are the 3 forces, P1, P2 and P3. These are the 3 forces. This is the force P1, this force is a P2, this force is a P3. So P1 force lies in a xy plane, P2 force lies in yz plane, and the P3 force lies in a xz plane. So these are the 3 forces which are lies in a different plane. Therefore, it is known as a non-coplanar force system. That is, they are not lies in a single plane, or they are lies in a different plane. Therefore, it is non-coplanar. Then concurrent force system. So if you observe this figure, in this figure there are the 4 forces. Let's say the force P1, P2, P3 and P4 and P5. Sorry, these are the 5 forces I have shown. This is known as a system of forces. Okay, all these forces come towards this point. Let's say this point O. All these forces are coming towards this point O. Therefore, these are the forces which are meeting at a single point O. Therefore, it is known as a concurrent force system. Okay. So this concurrent force system means nothing but the concurrent force means the forces which are meeting at a same point is known as a concurrent force system. So there are the 2 force system again, concurrent force system. Coplanar concurrent means which are lies in a same plane is nothing but the coplanar concurrent. Then second force system is non-coplanar concurrent. If the forces are lies in a different plane but they are meeting at the same point, then we can call it as a non-coplanar concurrent force system. Then non-concurrent force system, exactly opposite to this. If the forces are not meeting at a single point, then it is called as a non-concurrent force system. So what are the non-concurrent force system? Like parallel forces. If the distance between 2 forces is remain constant, then it is called as a parallel forces. Okay, so the parallel force system is again the non-concurrent force system. Okay, so there are the 2 types of parallel force system. What are the 2 types? One is the like parallel, means the direction of the 2 forces in the same direction, then it is called as a like parallel. And if the direction of the 2 forces is not in the same direction, or they are opposite in the direction, let's say that one is moving in the upward direction, one is moving in the downward direction, or we can say that one is moving towards right, one is moving towards left. So in that case, that is known as an unlike parallel force system. Then the second last force system is a collinear force system. So I think all of you have played the game tug of war. Okay, in that case, when we pull out the rassi, so in that case, the forces which are generated in that game tug of war, these are the collinear force system. All the forces are lie in the same line. So that is known as a collinear force. If I stretch this wire, so in that wire the forces are developed is nothing but the collinear force system. So in this figure P1 and P2, in this figure P1 and P2 are the collinear force system. The last one is the non-collinear force system. If the forces are not lies in the same line of action, or we can say the line of action of the force is not same or not common, then that type of force system is known as a non-collinear force system. So what is line of action? The line through which the forces is acting is nothing but the line of action. Let's say that this line is AB, and on this line the force P is acting. So the AB becomes its line of action. Okay, so getting. So thank you for today. What we have learned, again revise that we have learned the definition of force and the characteristics of force. What are the definition of force? There are, as we know that, as per the Newton's law, there are two laws: first law, second law, and third law. First two law define the force. First law is also known as the inertia. So from that, what is the force? What is the 1 Newton force? Always know that unit of the force is 1 Newton, and the unit of force is a Newton, and 1 Newton force is nothing but the magnitude of 1 Newton. Then we have learned the characteristics of force. There are 4 characteristics: magnitude, point of application, line of action, sense, and nature. Then we have learned the system of forces. So today we will stop here. We will meet in the next lecture. Thank you very much.